Let's talk. Hi, Thumos. Welcome back. Hope you gentlemen are doing well. You know, the world is going to try to condition you to make you weak because if you see yourself as someone that's lacking in a lot of stuff, you're going to consume more and you'll keep seeking. You'll keep seeking to be happy. By the way, it's just best if you straight up realize that nature doesn't care if you're happy or not. It doesn't. It doesn't care. It really doesn't care. If anything, it's going to make you depressed because you're not doing what it takes to gain status, to climb in a hierarchy, to be something more than just your base natures. That's why a lot of times when you get caught up in pleasure, you feel really shit, right? You feel like crap because you're not doing anything, all right? So if you're not having more status, if you're not having more power as a man, well, then you're going to suffer, okay? Nature doesn't care about your happiness. You're just meant to survive, pretty much. So what I'm seeing now is a lot of guys are getting unhappy. They think that happiness is a goal. It's not the goal, man. You got to make yourself happy. If you want to be happy, then you get to make yourself happy. And you do that by being content with what you have, being grateful, and then going there and trying to make something and do what you can, okay? So what we got to talk about is the conditioning that's going on for all of us to be fearful, okay? Because this day and age, what we're hearing is everyone that gets in trouble. The internet perpetuates fear. It programs you to be afraid. And it doesn't happen in one day. It happens over the course of weeks, months, years, because you constantly see it. You see people getting in trouble. You see people getting called out. You see the chaos in the world. So what ends up happening is you start to have a mind of fear. But you see, God didn't give you a mind of fear. He gave you a spirit of power. He gave you a sound mind. You're not supposed to be fearful. You're not supposed to be always considering risk. You're supposed to be bold and courageous and enter action with action. You're supposed to enter with boldness, whatever action that you do. And so what I'm seeing is that we're constantly walking on eggshells, okay? We're walking on eggshells and we're plagued with insecurities that constantly take up this mental space. The hard drive is getting filled with these small, tiny insecurities that we need to get over. Now, as a man, I've heard it been said, how can you possibly make $1,000,000 if you're concerned and worried and embarrassed about shitting in public? I'll be honest with you. I was embarrassed for the longest time. And when I heard that, I was like, you know what? It's so true. That kind of opened my mind. If I'm embarrassed shitting in public, not on the streets, like Diogenes, I'm saying in a bathroom with other men and taking a shit, doing your natural human duty to empty your bowels, well, then how is my mindset prepped and ready to come in contact with the actions necessary, with the mindset necessary, and do the duty to make $1,000,000? It's not. I care too much what people think. You know, for the longest time, I did not wear shorts because I was embarrassed about my calves. My arms were bigger, my calves have always been smaller, and I was embarrassed about it. You know why? Because I constantly read the threads on the internet about, look at all these guys that have small calves and bigger upper bodies. So in my mind, I started to think about how I wasn't good enough. I started to think that I was behind, I was lacking. Okay, and until I got bigger calves, I wouldn't wear shorts, and I suffered for that, man. I would think about it all the time. I felt like an idiot because it's 90 degrees outside. I'm still not wearing shorts. I'm wearing long pants. When I started wearing shorts, it was one of the most liberating feelings. Got over a little insecurity. Many of us, you're thinking about your height. Find a shorter girl. No excuses. Okay, fix up and improve upon what you can. And if you can't, then accept it because you got one life and it's no use taking this black pill and then just getting consumed by that. You're getting conditioned to fail, man. You're going to live a super average or most likely below average life if you can't at least accept or fix up some stuff that is a weakness or that you perceive as a weakness. You can't do anything about your height. It's not a big deal. Date a shorter girl if that's what it comes to. Many shorter girls like guys are just a little bit taller than them. It doesn't really matter, or the same height. There's always shorter girls. All right, so you don't, groom yourself, fix yourself up, have clean clothes. It's simple as that. And we need to eliminate these insecurities and stop being filled with fear, because you will be conditioned to do nothing. And then you'll notice that as you do nothing, as a man, it feels terrible. The best thing that you could do right now if you're unsure of what to do is not try to find a passion. That's BS. Follow your passion is BS, because many of us don't know our passions. And many of us are constantly changing what we like. 1 month I'm into this, the next month I'm into this, then it's this. It's constantly changing. So that's a surefire way to do nothing if you're just looking for a passion. Start doing stuff. Go and do stuff. Go and experiment, right? Talk to the guys. Had the pleasure of talking to about 30 guys yesterday in the Mastermind Live Talk. We do that every 2 weeks in the Monkwood Box program. And one of the things that came up, I said, you guys need to start doing stuff. Go buy your domain. Everyone in here should have their name bought. So if I were to go type in, let's say your name is John Smith, johnsmith.com, www.johnsmith.com. That name's definitely already taken because it's so common, but you should go and buy your domain. That way, if you ever need to use it for anything, it's yours, and I can find you, and you have that estate, you have that real estate in the digital world, and it belongs to you. Okay, so that's one. Buy your domain. Look, now is the time to go and do stuff, man. Like get motivated to try. And too many guys these days are not motivated to try. One thing is because we're so weak and afraid of all the consequences of putting stuff out there. And we're constantly consuming fear. That's why I really make an effort on this channel not to just talk about current situations, because there's so many channels that spread fear, because fear gives you a feeling like, and it feels like, oh, yep, see, I told you so. I told you shouldn't try to make money online. I told you that you shouldn't try and, I don't know, work out or do this and that. People love to feel like they told people so that they don't have to fail themselves. And it kind of does. It feels like exciting when you hear someone else telling you about all this crazy stuff going on in the world. But when you do that, you're just consuming. Okay? So I would rather go play a video game or go to like an art museum or watch a movie than consume BS and fear. You don't need to know the world's crazy. Life is hard. Accept that it's hard, and it doesn't really get easier. You might be able to sit down and be like, you know what? This is a beautiful day. Thank you for this life. Thank you for the place I am. Have a little bit of gratitude. Maybe you're smoking your cigar. You have a little bit of whiskey. But then guess what? You wake up the next morning and your legs are stiff, right? Your boners aren't as hard. You are getting older. You're dealing with life. You realize that you're up against an existence that gives very little shits about you, okay? And the moments that you make enjoyable, that's up to you, man. That's really up to you. And so accept that. Stop chasing happiness. Chase doing stuff and getting stronger and kind of fighting back against life. Keep the high thumos, man, because when you go hollow and the flame burns out, that's when you're just like a zombie walking around, okay? Don't go hollow. Don't go hollow. Keep the high thumos, the fire in the belly, okay? And I know that you're going to experience these weeks where the thumos feels low, but I'm telling you, bro, like you gotta stay up. And you got to keep going and try. Like, you can make videos now. You can put your music out there. And no one's going to like it right away. It's simple as that. But keep going. Keep trying new things. Get a group together. Form a tribe. Who do we have these days other than this online virtual tribe, which is great, but we need it in our lives. You got to be the leader. Look, many men these days are so weak, dude. Many of the young guys are being brought up on a diet of TikTok, Instagram, pornography, and a bunch of BS television shows, media, with very little parental guidance and very little father figures saying, hey man, like you have massive potential. You can reach your potential. And what that does to a man is it makes him weak. It makes him more susceptible to becoming emasculated and very feminine. And you see it in a lot of guys these days. We're becoming very feminine and weak. And it takes the realization for yourself is like, look, you're probably in your 20s. You're a man now. Stop being weak. Like, you have to be a leader for other men. And you have to be like the catalyst to getting them together and to spreading the word, to being a role model. Seriously. And if you're sick of being weak, then stop acting weak. Stop living a weak lifestyle. Stop doing stuff that makes you weak. As much videos as you may be watching. Like, hopefully you're watching this and you're standing up, or you're like cleaning your house. You're doing something. Hopefully you're not sitting down, creating this spine like this that makes you anxious when you breathe because you can't breathe through your belly. Hopefully you're learning to sit up and stand up straight and have good posture. That way, when people see you, they don't look at you as just some weak, limp man. Like, your posture is very interconnected to the thumos that you feel and to how you feel in here. So that's why I'm going to get into a posture series coming up soon. We got to fix it, man. Get on the phone, going like this all day, very bad. Very bad. Weak glutes, weak gut, like very bad. Not good. We're trying to go and try to all seem so intelligent and smart and learn all this theory. It's very basic things that we got to do. We have to be strong. We cannot accept weakness. And if you are weak, you gotta go against it, man. Stop dressing like a woman. Seriously, stop dressing like a woman. Stop wearing your hair like a woman. Like, it's simple as that. Act like a man. Like, be in your physiology. Stand up. Right? Be strong. Lift weights, man. Don't be weak. Don't accept weakness. Don't always. Everyone's gonna try, especially if you got a lot of friends that don't really care about you. They will, or just acquaintances. People always want to have fun. Like, fun, I'm telling you, pleasure seeking is not good. Because there's very little payment for the pleasure, other than, the depression that's on the other end of the other side of the coin. A lot of people want to chase pleasure because it's just that constant chasing the high and then experiencing the low. So you're constantly chasing happiness. It's a recipe for failure. So what you need to do is get yourself strong and get away from people that are always going to want you to party and go out and drink and smoke weed and do all this, man. Just as a king, to develop king-like energy, you actually have to spend a lot of time alone, but not too much time in solitude where it makes you go crazy. Okay? Very important. And the king presence, getting close to God, getting grounded and calm is going to be in the present, by yourself, alone, able to think and able to figure yourself out, know yourself, and you become very easily, or you're not easily manipulated, and you're not really fearful, because you know that a lot of majority that people worry about, a lot of this stuff, doesn't matter. Like, it's not as embarrassing as you may think. A lot of the insecure, not as embarrassing as you may think. Spend time with yourself, get to like yourself, and life becomes much better. Know yourself, though. Know yourself. Don't just stand behind something and rally for some cause because you're low status now. I see a lot of guys doing that. They like to go fight for a cause because they have no status. And so as humans, what we seem to tend to do is when we have very little status or we're weak, we tend to rally behind a group of people that are all repeating the same thing. And by going into a different hierarchy, that will give you more status. Okay, you try to like migrate. It's so weird how we do that. And you see it in people. It's like, look, be real with yourself. Be truthful with yourself. Stop BSing and living a lie. And take care of yourself. Do what you got to do to be better, man. Stop living a weak lifestyle. Stop accepting weakness, man. Like, you're a man, We're men. Don't be weak. It's simple as that. And when I say that, it's like, come on. There's a couple things you got to do. You got to be strong physically. And if you're handicapped, well then, there's some bodybuilders that are walking around in wheelchairs. Obviously, they're not walking. But you know what I mean. They're in wheelchairs. They're still doing some curls. They're being strong. They eat good food. They're not constantly drinking. They're not constantly just going here and there and binging and staying up late all the time and just doing everything that people want. Right? Even with girls, I see so many of you guys like are so obsessed with girls, and you're making them your god. Like, what you focus on at the top, that's your god, man. And a lot of you guys care so much what women think. Even Some of you are getting a girl and you're just as soon as she beckons and calls, you're going to her, man. Like you're leaving your bros, you're doing anything, you're giving up responsibility to go to your girl. It's like that is stupid. Girls are not that awesome. Seriously, what do you get? Girls gonna tell you an awesome story? Most likely not. So stop BSing your stuff. Stop hanging around girls because you're trying to get laid. And just there's so many girls. Why hang around a girl that has put you in the friend zone? That's just nonsense. Stop making your girl your god. Like she doesn't want that. She could just get a dog if she wanted you to be her dog. And you guys got to realize what is important. And you're giving up when you decide to be someone else's bitch. Like you're going to feel very weak. That's how it is. You're going to feel very weak inside, and you're going to question yourself. And you're going to become like that person. Like a lot of us are becoming more females, like females, and it's fearful because females are naturally more fearful than men because they're weaker. They're more vulnerable. Okay, and a lot of us are becoming so vulnerable rather than looking to the king, having that king presence in our life. We're becoming very fearful, conditioned for fear, riddled with insecurity, and not doing anything. Go and do shit, dude. Go and do shit. Experiment. Form a tribe. Get people together. Put yourself out there. Speak up. Tell the truth. Get to know yourself. Get smarter. Get wiser. Stop consuming so much nonsense. Right? That's what it's gonna start there. It's gonna take that, and I'm excited for the future with you guys, for sure. So let's get it. Keep the thumos alive. Do not go hollow inside when the flame goes out. You're just giving up. All right? I'll see you soon. Peace.